Hello guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what my thoughts are on Deltarune Chapter 5. I do have a lot of criticisms. Even though this is Toby's dream chapter, there are a lot of things I think could have been done better. But first of all, I would really like to thank everyone for 50 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I was not expecting my subscriber count to go up so much. When I made the video the other day that I made, which was an explicit version of Flower Man, my subs were originally at 13, so I was not expecting it to go up that much, so thank you so much. Okay, with that done, we'll begin. So, this video will be split into two main categories. Category 1 is the normal route. Category 2 is the weird route. In my video editor, I will put some rough timestamps, so if you have not seen one route or the other, then you can skip to whatever you like. Inside those categories will be sections, for example, the festival, the dark world, secret boss, I don't know how to say this without spoiling, lake scene for the weird route. Well, it's in both routes, but completely different. Anyway, so yeah, those are the categories, and they'll be popping up on screen, so please go to whatever timestamp you want. So yeah, let's begin. So, my thoughts on the festival. I really liked the festival. It was lots of fun in the normal route. Pacifist, obviously. Getting to see Birdley around again. He looks in good health, which is great, because obviously, if you paid attention to the Queen fight, if you don't get all recruits, then he can get injured. I don't think I managed to get him injured, thankfully, but that's besides the point. Just seeing Birdley around was pretty funny. Him interacting with Susie, Noelle and Chris. Because obviously, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a dialogue when you went up to him and he was like, "Oh hey, I want to date you guys." And he got so desperate that he even stooped. Well, I don't want to say stooped down because I'm bi, but he eventually resigned and went like, "Hey Chris, can you date me?" Which I thought was really funny. Obviously, this was Deltarune Chapter. There is a lot of things that, I mean, I'm glad they're happy for each other. I support lesbians, whatever, that's fine. But I feel horrible for Chris, because I want to be Susie's wingman, but at the same time, I don't want to sort of degrade Chris. So it was a very hard choice for me, as a player of the game, to go with the Deltarune options. So I did go with those options in the end, and it was pretty cute, don't get me wrong, but it is very, very obvious to me that Chris does like Noelle, Chris does like Susie, and it's obvious that they are very disappointed about what happened. Obviously, I don't think they're going to get angry about it or anything, but it's just I feel bad for Chris, really, because It feels like at this point part of the prophecy is if Chris gets game, everyone fucking dies. Because nothing's happening with Noelle, nothing's happening with Susie, and something's happening between them and Rousey. But it's not really blossomed yet, like how Suzelle has, which I thought was a bit disappointing. So obviously there is the lake scene as well. That was absolutely adorable. No denying that. Yeah, I really liked the lake scene. Obviously, I felt Chris. Like, I felt really fucking bad for them, I'm not gonna lie. But having, like, Suzelle be, like, confirmed now is pretty cool. So that is my thoughts on the lake scene. I don't really think I need to go any further into that. So yeah. Okay, and now we are moving on to the dark world. This is the juice, the bread and butter. Flowery. Fucking tricky Tony. I was fucking bamboozled. Like, I was just there like, what the hell? Like, I was like, basically like shitting myself, man. Like, what do you mean you just got Flowey and added an R in his name and like made him look like a human? Like, obviously it's more complicated than that. But the fucking, the name! I could not get over the name. I was just there like, what? What did you do that? So yeah, that was like the first thing in the dark world. Next thing to talk about is obviously the soundtrack is a fucking banger. I'm actually listening to it right now while I'm talking to you guys. I'll probably put different music on in editing. But it is really good. I cannot overstate how good the music is. So yeah, Sunset of Seven Suns, Garden of Hopes and Dreams, Flower Man, so much good music. I cannot overstate that. I cannot. And of course, something else we need to talk about while on the subject of Dark World oddities or like general Dark World stuff is Rousey. Now I'm going to be brutally honest. I do not think Rousey is a trans woman. Because if Rousey was a trans woman, I think that the prophecy would have specified something about a transition, which, in my opinion, it has not. If you disagree with that, then fine, I don't really care. But my personal opinion is that Rousey is still a boy or a man, and that he is probably going to be like that for the rest of the game. And God forbid a white goat like a bit of cross-dressing. Obviously there was that scene where Flowery calls Rousey a princess. But I think that Flowery was just taking the piss. Because it's obvious that he is a very confident guy. And he likes making fun of people at the end of the day. Him and Rousey had a lot of banter. And Rousey absolutely fucking despised him. Which I thought was really funny. It's just like, Rousey, what are you doing, bro? Like, I get it. Some of his voice clips might have been a bit annoying or whatever, but it's not that deep, man. So yeah, that was really funny. I don't think Rousey is trans. But those are my thoughts. You are completely completely entitled to your own opinion. But do not go harassing me over mine, because if you do, I'm just going to delete your comment. I'm not putting up with this bullshit, okay? Okay. So with that said, there are a few more things I have to say about the Dark World. In general, I suppose. Wow. Obviously, I think a lot of people were very disappointed that Asgore didn't have a bigger involvement. I was very disappointed that Asgore didn't have a bigger involvement. I'll go more into that in the final boss section for obvious reasons. But I don't know why I thought this, but I thought that Asgore might have been part of the party for a while, or he might have helped us in some way. I didn't think that, I don't know how to explain it. I didn't think he would just be on the sidelines hanging out with this flowery guy. Obviously Asgore always wanted to see the Dark Fountain. He always wanted to defeat the Knight. That's been part of the lore for a while now, since chapters 3 and 4 at least. There's been implications of it previously anyway, but since chapters 3 and 4 it is really sort of solidified that Asgore was going to sort of really want to get in this obsession with the Dark World. But ironically, I don't think he was obsessed enough. I don't know if you guys remember, but in chapter 4 there was a prophecy panel that said about Asgore's inferno of jealousy, and I really thought that Asgore was going to be fucking going to Sans' shop and trying to beat him up or something. That didn't happen, obviously. I thought he was going to get really jealous about their relationship, Sans' relationship with Toriel, but that didn't happen. It would have been really fucking funny, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. So I was quite disappointed about that. Yeah, that's another thing I had to talk about. And what else? The flowers in general, pretty cool concept. In particular, Aqua was my favourite because it's very obvious that they are a sort of, at least a rough concept of a younger Chris. Their skin's the same colour. Aqua's got a little heart-shaped thing on their heads. They're really obsessed with knives. The correlations are crazy. But I thought it was really fun, fighting all of the flowers and stuff. Well, you didn't really get to fight them, but having battles with the flowers was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. Obviously, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Aqua's my favourite. Seth was pretty cool. The fight where it was dual, so it was Seth and Aqua at the same time. That was pretty cool. Yes, there is something else I need to talk about before we move on to the next section. The platforming section. Oh my gosh. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome, don't get me wrong, but it was also really annoying. And I was in the editor, I will show you a little bit of gameplay to show you what I mean. But I was just so shit at it. I was seething. I almost quit the game right there and then, because of all of these fucking flower things. You have to jump up and you fall so easily, and it was really annoying. I got through it in the end, had a little bit of determination, but It was really difficult. Because I am not like a Celeste player. Celeste? I don't know how it's pronounced. That one with the strawberry woman where you jump up shit. I don't play that game. I tried to play it once and I found it too difficult. I'll probably give it another go because obviously Deltarune had that same sort of thing and I managed to beat that section. So yeah, I just cannot overstate how difficult and annoying it was. I think I was probably doing it more than 20 times. I'm not gonna lie. It's really funny looking at back at it now, but I don't think I could do that again. I don't think I would have the courage. So yeah, that was really funny. It was really hard. It was really awesome. And also all of the new attack pans and stuff. Really cool. I really liked that. Toby, you're awesome. Keep cooking. But also, please, can you tone down the difficulty a bit? I'm not going to say I'm a normal person because I'm definitely not. But more normal people cannot do stuff like this, bro. I cannot do this section. I cannot do this again, bro. Okay. Alright. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the secret boss. And I will not overstate how fucking disappointed I was. This was the worst part of Chapter 5. And I know that you guys are going to be like, oh, I don't know what you were expecting. What, did you want this to just be Lord's Up Extravaganza? And to that I answer, yes. Yes, I fucking did. As did most people. I did not want some fucking anime girl fight that we already kind of got in Undertale. I wanted to fight Friend. And I think it is perfectly reasonable to have wanted to fight Friend. Especially with all of this build up in Chapter 4, Chapter 3, fucking Chapter 2. Friend was hinted at in Chapter 2, mate. Where is my go? And don't get me wrong, I saw the new dialogue about the... Oh, Chris, you look like you got bitten, you. But for me, that was not enough. I wanted to have a Friend fight so bad. And we are over halfway through Deltarune now. We haven't got a Friend fight. Instead, we got some... I know this is going to offend some people. We got some stupid fucking kawaii bullshit as the secret boss. And I did not want that. I thought it was annoying in Undertale, and I think it's annoying in Deltarune. I did not want that. And ironically enough, I don't think Chris wanted it either. Because if we reject Pink, they got the fucking peace sign going up. Which, by the way, was really funny. I don't have any footage of Pink, the secret boss, because I completed it after I did my initial gameplay, because I really didn't want to, be playing the game for, 10 hours in a row, because, believe it or not, my stream was, close to 9 hours, so, secret boss, that probably would have added another hour or two, and I don't think I could play Deltarune for that long. I love Deltarune, but I cannot play it for that long. I cannot play any game for 10, 11 hours in a row. I'm insane, don't get me wrong, but I am not that insane. So yeah, that is my thoughts on the secret boss. I did not want some kawaii bullshit. I wanted an actual serious secret boss. I mean, yeah, it could have been a bit goofy, it could have been a bit fun, but I don't want this anime kawaii bullshit. If I want to watch anime, then I'm gonna fucking go watch anime. I don't play Deltarune to see anime bullshit, okay? So yeah, that's just my thoughts. So yeah. Alright, now we are going to talk about the final boss. I think you already kind of know what my thoughts are about this, but I will just explain in more detail. Flowery was an awesome fight. The attacks were awesome. All of the flowers uniting against us was awesome because they want to have their special dark world, and I don't blame them. But I think that the final boss shouldn't have been Flowery. I think it should have been Asgore. And a lot of people are going to say, why would Asgore fight Chris? To that, my dear viewer, I present to you the Vegeta solution. Now, I know that a lot of people have not watched Dragon Ball Z, so I will explain this to you. In Dragon Ball Z, during the Android/Cell saga, Vegeta is around Goku, and they have a massive fight, and I won't get into it because of spoilers, but at the very end of the fight, and this is a spoiler unfortunately because I have to explain my viewpoint, Vegeta knocks out Goku. So what I think Asgore should have done, and he could do this in a multitude of ways, is he could knock out Chris, and then he can target Rousey and Suzy, and it could have been fucking awesome. It could have been Rousey, Suzy versus Asgore, and if that happened, I would have been so happy. I would have been fucking over the moon, man. Unfortunately, that did not happen, but that's what I think should have happened. And some of the ways he could have done this, just before you go like, oh no, that's not possible, is he could have tricked the fun gang. So he could have put like a bit of like you know, like those that medication you get in the hospital, and it makes you all like a little bit woozy, it makes you fall asleep. He could have got the fun gang to drink some tea or something, and he could have put some of that medicine in Chris's tea. I think the fun gang would fall for it. Just my opinion. Because stupider shit has happened, right? So I think they would fall for that. That would be an easy way to make it so that Asgore just targets Rousey and Suzy. Another way would just be doing like, Asgore is so fucking strong. Like, he could just, he knows how to hit someone. He can just, I mean, yeah, he probably wouldn't want to do this, but he could get a knockout hit on Chris. Just knock him out for the fight. Make sure they're still alive, of course, because Asgore would do that, because he's Chris's father. Blah, blah, blah. But knock out Chris, target Suzy, and target Rousey. That's there. That's your fight. It's not like overly hard of a concept, I don't think. Obviously it's going to be hard, game dev and art wise and blah blah blah, but from a scripting perspective, I don't think it's that hard. So I love Flowery, but I didn't want Flowery. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's pretty attractive. I'd let him touch me up, but that's So I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping that in the script. But anyway, not script, in the video. But anyway, I didn't want Flowery. I wanted an Asgore fight. And we didn't get an Asgore fight, and because of that, I was disappointed. I was very disappointed that we didn't get an Asgore fight, and I will stay disappointed. Thankfully, Deltarune has a lovely community, and I imagine that at some point, someone will make some awesome ass fan fight. And please, guys, if anything does come up like that, can you please comment it? I'm begging, because if this happens, I'm gonna be their #1 supporter, man. Like, I'm playing that game right motherfucking now, because that is what I need. I need my dopamine, bro. But yeah, that is my thoughts on the final boss. Okay, so I'm gonna get into my final thoughts on the normal route. So obviously I have mixed thoughts, and I think a lot of other people also had mixed thoughts, and I don't think it's hard to blame us, because I thought this was going to be the lore chapter. I thought we were going to get an Asgore fight. I thought we were going to get a friend secret boss, and pushing it, I was hoping that we would get a desk reveal. I was hoping that we would finally be able to see what desk looks like. But unfortunately, none of those things happened. And while this was a very good chapter, my opinion has gone down rapidly because of how this chapter played out. Unlike chapter 3 and 4, which were actually better than my expectations, chapter 5 was brilliant but extremely flawed, and my rating of the normal route is a 6.5 out of 10. If you take away the OCT, if you put like really shit music, I would only give it a 5. Because this chapter did not have enough lore for me. The cute lesbians were great, don't get me wrong. All of like just having a fun chapter was nice. This was a good chapter, but it was not. Well, I'm just going to say it was not my chapter. It was not how I would have done it. At the end of the day, this is Toby Fox's dream, and I respect his dream, and I appreciate it, but it was not what I wanted. And that's that. It's done now, and unfortunately that can't be reversed. Unfortunately and fortunately, I loved all of the banter between Rousey and Flowery though. I loved the lake scene with Susie and Noelle, it was really cute. I loved going around the festival and all of the new dialogue and just talking to everyone again, you know, it's really nice, it's always lovely. But this was not the chapter for me, and at the moment, if you're curious, my ranking of chapters would be chapter 2 is my favourite chapter, then it's chapter 4, chapter 1, chapter 5, and then chapter 3. Chapter 3 is not a bad chapter by any means, by the way. I was just disappointed about it because it didn't have any implications for the weird route, which is why I put it at the bottom. If there was more weird route stuff, it would probably be a lot higher. Yes, there are the mini games, but I don't think those really count because they were more of an explanation of how to do the weird route than anything else. But yeah, that is my opinion on the normal route of Chapter 5, and with that, that is our first category conquered. Moving on to the weird route, we're now going to talk about the festival section with Susie on her own. I thought this was really dark, but also incredibly interesting. It's nice that even in such grim circumstances where the sun has almost gone down and Chris obviously does not want to stay awake, does not want to engage, that Susie could still bring a little bit of positivity into their life. And I think that it was nice that we got to see Susie one last time before the devastating lake scene. There is a lot of things I need to talk about, and the festival section of the weird route was very interesting. The beginning of the chapter really intrigued me because Chris did not want to say anything. I believe this confirms the theory that Chris does narration, because if you think about it, there was, when you interacted with things, Chris did not say anything. When you interacted with the drawer, the bed, all sorts of things, it was just the asterisk? I don't know what it's called. It was just a little star dinghy, and nothing else. And I think that says a lot about Chris's mental state. And this really improved my ranking of Chapter 5, in my opinion. If we got another chapter where the weird route didn't matter at all, to be honest with you, I think it would have gone all the way down to like a 4 or a 4.5. Not because I hate the chapter, but just because I hate when nothing happens in the weird route. Like, it just annoys the shit out of me, to be honest. So for that, it went a lot higher. Obviously, combine that with the amazing OCT. But yeah, that's... Sorry. I really need to stop being nerdy about the OCT. But, yeah, we're going to move on now. So the lake scene, the contradictions are crazy. This was not a love confession. This was a glorified suicide attempt. It is very obvious that Noelle, in my opinion, wanted to drag down Chris with her as Chris dragged Noelle, as the soul dragged Noelle down with them. It is very obvious that Noelle did not care about the consequences anymore. She did not care if she died. She had to see what was at the bottom of that lake. And her description, marching on, doing the same thing every single day. In a way, it resonated. because that is the life that most people live. You go to work, you go to school, you go to college, you do whatever, right? That day just repeats. I mean, sure, maybe the dialogue's a bit different, maybe the people say something else, but at the end of the day, when you go to sleep, it's the same. So that really resonated with me. Maybe I'm a little bit depressed, but yeah. It was an amazing scene. And although I am devastated that we skipped straight past chapter 6, I think at the end of the day it will be worth the wait. Because to be honest, we'll probably only have to wait 2 more years until the end of Deltarune with the pace that it's going. I know that chapter 6 is planned on releasing in 2027, so I think we are good to assume that 2028 is going to be chapter 7. So yeah, I am okay to wait. Disappointed, but patient, and I think that this is going to be worth the wait. I think there's going to be a lot of lore dumps. I think that this will get more onto the Amori side, because Toby Fox really sort of leaned... Well, I'm sorry for saying the Amori side, because obviously Deltarune is a different game, but it will lean more onto the edgier themes of suicide, depression, and how you sort of want to drown your feelings out. And I think that scene was very important. I loved it. I have no criticisms. I did not know what to expect for the weird route, as I never know what to expect for it. But other than the fact that we skip over chapter 6, I am more than happy with the weird route this chapter. So, one last thing that I'm going to talk about is, what does this mean? When I say what does this mean, I mean what does this mean in terms of lore? Because it's weird, right? We skip an entire chapter, an entire day. So, does this mean that the roaring only just happens in chapter 7? Because there is no way in hell that the roaring is not going to happen in the weird route. I do not believe that. I cannot put myself to believe the thought that there will be no like roaring at all. It has to happen at some point. Do I think it will differ? Yes. But there is something else I had in mind. Toby Fox has repeated again and again that Deltarune will only have one ending. I think he is correct, because I do not think the weird route will end. I think that at the very end of the weird route, you will be stuck in a repeat. You will have to go around hometown and kill everyone again and again and again, just like Flowey did. I think that this is why Deltarune is the parallel story. In the weird route, you will become just like Flowey. You will become just like the demon of the player that has constantly been described by the community. You will be the literal iteration of it, and there will be no way to escape. When I say there is no way to escape, I mean it with every ounce of my being, because if you think about it, it is the truth that the weird route affects both of your saves now. I will try and find some screenshots of evidence, but I am pretty sure that there is a consistent thing now that I saw about save files, and that the weird route, if you do it, it affects both save files, which I find extremely interesting, because I think that at the very end of Chapter 7, we will see a basic replica of what happened if you repeat the Undertale pacifist route after doing the genocide route. And what I mean by that is, I'll put the little picture up here. You see Chara and all of the X's with the monsters. It implies that everyone has died. I think that this will repeat in Deltarune, and this is why your choices won't matter, because if you do the weird route, there is no ending. You just repeatedly kill everyone. It repeats again and again and again. I think your save will automatically reload and you will be stuck in a loop. That is why Deltarune will only have one ending. But yeah, those are my thoughts on what I think about Deltarune Chapter 5. My ranking stays the same. It was a good chapter, but I had all of those criticisms, so I think my ranking is fair. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments. Let me know if you would like me to rate any other games, because I will say some games I have played. Obviously I played Undertale, Amori, One Shot, and lots of other games. So if you would like me to get in more into the ranking of what I think, my deepest thoughts on lore and what I think a game should be like versus what it is like, whether I like it, whether I dislike it, whether it's somewhere in between, blah blah blah, please leave a comment below and just say, can you please review this game? And I'll tell you what, if it's a game I played, then maybe I will make it into a video just for you. So please consider commenting it. I would really appreciate it, as it gives me more things to talk about. I love blabbering against the wall, feeling like I'm not talking to anyone because I'm basically insane, so that's fine. Thank you once again for 50 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that is all for now. Remember to be civil. Please do not disrespect anyone's opinions in the comments. If there are any contradicting opinions, any harassment of any form will be deleted. So be nice to each other. Don't be a prick, basically. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching my video. Lots of respect to you guys. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Peace out.